goodness, folks. I have some absolutely explosive information about Meghan Markle that completely shatters the fairy tale romance we've been sold for years. Royal biographer Angela Levin has dropped a nuclear bomb allegation that is sending shockwaves through both Buckingham Palace and Hollywood. Now, I know you guys are excited for more, instead. But before we delve into further discussion, if you haven't subscribed, I mean, come on, guys, what are you waiting for? Hit like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell ASAP. So now, according to Levin's bombshell claims, Meghan's initial romantic aspirations were not directed toward Prince Harry at all, but toward his elder brother, Prince William. That's right. The woman who has spent years cultivating the image of a destined love story with Harry allegedly had her sights set on the future king first. This audacious revelation challenges everything we thought we knew about the Sussex romance. Instead of the whirlwind fairy tale courtship we've been fed, Levin paints a picture of calculated ambition and strategic maneuvering designed to secure the ultimate prize, access to the British throne. According to Levin's controversial claims, reportedly substantiated by confidential sources deep within Buckingham Palace, Meghan was methodically plotting her way through royal circles, calculating every move to maximize her access to power and status. The ultimate goal? Becoming the future Queen of England by snagging William. This bombshell portrayal stands in complete contradiction to the widely disseminated narrative of serendipitous romance that supposedly defied royal convention. It suggests Meghan viewed royalty as a career opportunity rather than a love match, with William initially being the top target for her ambitions. Palace insiders reportedly claim that Meghan's intense interest in Prince William was glaringly obvious to those working within the royal household. But William, having spent his entire life navigating the treacherous waters of royal fame, apparently maintained a polite but decidedly distant demeanor toward her. As a seasoned royal who had encountered countless social climbers over the years, William allegedly recognized Meghan's ambitions immediately. Kate Middleton, according to these explosive claims, potentially perceived Meghan as a genuine threat to her marriage and position. The suggestion that Kate's well-documented coolness toward Meghan stemmed not from snobbery or racism, as the Sussexes have implied, but from a protective instinct against someone attempting to undermine her family, completely flips the narrative we've been told. The most devastating aspect of Levin's claims is what allegedly happened next. When it became clear that William wasn't receptive to her carefully orchestrated advances, Meghan supposedly pivoted swiftly to Prince Harry, the spare rather than the heir. This alternative account portrays the remarkably rapid development of Harry and Meghan's relationship not as destiny or true love, but as a calculated Plan B to secure royal status. Harry, with his well-documented vulnerability, rebellious streak, and desperate desire for love and acceptance, is portrayed as an unwitting pawn in Meghan's grand design. This radical reinterpretation strikes at the very foundation of the Sussex brand, which has been built entirely on the belief in their authentic, transcendent love story. What makes these allegations particularly explosive is how they potentially reframe Meghan's entire romantic history. Levin controversially suggests that Meghan has consistently demonstrated a pattern of strategically aligning herself with influential figures throughout her life. Her marriage to Hollywood producer Trevor Engelson and her carefully cultivated associations with Hollywood elites are presented not as genuine connections, but as deliberate stepping stones to gain greater influence and access to power. The conspicuous silence from Buckingham Palace regarding these incendiary claims has been interpreted by many as tacit confirmation of their validity. If these allegations were completely baseless, wouldn't the palace issue a firm denial? Their silence speaks volumes about the potential truth behind Levin's claims. For Kate Middleton, these revelations potentially reposition her from villain to victim in the Sussex narrative. Rather than the cold, unwelcoming sister-in-law portrayed in the Oprah interview, Kate emerges as a protective wife who successfully defended her territory against a calculated threat. This dramatic reversal could significantly rehabilitate Kate's image among those who bought into the Sussexes' version of events. But for Prince Harry, these claims raise disturbing questions about his judgment and perception of reality. Was he truly manipulated into life-altering decisions that had far-reaching consequences for himself, his family, and the entire monarchy? This could inflict irreparable damage on his carefully cultivated image of emotional intelligence and authenticity. Ultimately, Angela Levin's biography threatens to completely dismantle the carefully constructed Sussex narrative, replacing their love story with a cynical tale of calculated ambition and strategic manipulation. This profound shift in public perception could have devastating consequences for their brand, potentially jeopardizing their Netflix deals, book sales, and speaking engagements, all of which rely heavily on public belief in their authentic love story. What's particularly fascinating about these revelations is how they potentially explain the inexplicable speed of Harry and Meghan's relationship. They went from blind date to engagement in approximately 16 months, a whirlwind pace that raised eyebrows even among royal watchers accustomed to strategic marriages. If Meghan had already been plotting her royal entry and simply pivoted from one brother to another, the accelerated timeline suddenly makes perfect sense. These allegations also shed new light on the notorious "what Meghan wants, Meghan gets" incident, where Harry reportedly snapped at royal staff while planning their wedding. If Harry was indeed a backup plan rather than her true love, his desperate attempts to please her take on a much darker, more tragic dimension. For the royal family, these revelations potentially validate their caution toward Meghan from the beginning. William's reported warning to Harry to "take it slow" and the Queen's alleged insistence on a prenuptial agreement now appear less like royal snobbery and more like protective instincts from people who recognized something the love-struck Harry could not see. The implications stretch far beyond mere gossip. If Meghan initially targeted William rather than Harry, it fundamentally changes how we view their dramatic exit from royal life, their countless complaints about mistreatment, and their positioning as victims of an archaic institution. Was it all just the bitter aftermath of a thwarted ambition, rather than a principled stand against racism and oppression? For royal watchers, these claims validate what many have long suspected, that the speed, intensity, and eventual implosion of the Sussex royal experiment never quite added up. The narrative gaps, inconsistencies, and contradictions that have plagued their story from the beginning suddenly make perfect sense when viewed through this alternative lens. The Sussex silence in response to these explosive allegations speaks volumes. If these claims were entirely false, wouldn't they issue immediate, categorical denials? Their characteristic strategy of allowing surrogates to fight their battles while maintaining dignified silence may not be sufficient when facing allegations that strike at the very core of their love story. This controversy also reignites the long-standing debate about the inherent challenges faced by the spare in the royal family. Harry's well-documented struggles with his secondary status take on new poignancy if he was indeed Meghan's second choice after failing to capture William's interest. The psychological implications of discovering you were a backup plan would be devastating for anyone, let alone someone with Harry's documented insecurities. The timing of these revelations couldn't be more damaging for the Sussexes, coming as they struggle to establish relevance beyond royal drama. Their Netflix deal is reportedly in jeopardy, their Spotify partnership collapsed, and Meghan's lifestyle ventures have faced widespread mockery. These allegations strike at the very foundation of their remaining credibility, their love story. For the monarchy itself, Levin's claims represent a double-edged sword. On one hand, they potentially validate the institution's caution toward Meghan. On the other, they reignite public interest in royal drama at a time when King Charles is trying to present a more streamlined, drama-free monarchy focused on service rather than sensation. The allegations raise profound questions about the power dynamics within the royal family. If Meghan indeed initially targeted William before pivoting to Harry, it suggests a deeply troubling view of the spare as merely a consolation prize, reinforcing the very hierarchy that reportedly caused Harry such pain throughout his life. Critics of the monarchy will undoubtedly seize on these allegations as further evidence of an institution obsessed with status, bloodlines, and outdated notions of hierarchy. The suggestion that Meghan strategically targeted royal brothers based on their proximity to the throne feeds directly into critiques of the monarchy as an anachronistic institution in the modern world. For feminist commentators, these allegations present a complex challenge. While critiquing Meghan's alleged social climbing plays into misogynistic tropes about ambitious women, ignoring the possibility of calculated manipulation potentially dismisses legitimate concerns about authenticity and genuine intentions. This tension highlights the difficult balance between supporting women and acknowledging potentially problematic behavior. The long-term impact of these allegations will depend largely on how the Sussexes respond. Will they maintain dignified silence, hoping the storm passes? Will they issue categorical denials, potentially opening themselves to further scrutiny? Or will they take legal action, risking a protracted battle that keeps these claims in the public eye for months or years? As this extraordinary royal drama continues to unfold, one thing is certain. Angela Levin's bombshell allegations have forever changed how we view the Sussex story. Whether these claims are ultimately proven true or false, they have introduced doubt that can never be fully erased. The fairy tale romance has been tarnished, perhaps irreparably, by the suggestion that it began not with love at first sight, but with strategic calculation and a pivot from one royal brother to another. Ta-ta, and bye for now.